Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Haven Farms. Today we're going to take our sheep that we skinned last, 2 weeks ago now. We're going to take them and process them out so that we can actually use the meat and eat the meat. We had to buy a couple new tools for that. We had to buy this big old bone saw and a meat cleaver to get this going. But we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so this is the first sheep that I've actually butchered, and the first sheep that I'm actually going to, process out. So I learned from a combination of a book that I'm not thinking the name, or not able to think of the name of right now, and YouTube videos. The one in particular that I liked the most was from Bon Appetit, which we will link below. The guy kind of went through everything and a bunch of different ways you can do, you can do the ribs, you can do the neck, or all the different parts. You can do it different ways. The way we're doing it is, what's going to work best for us at this time. So I'm going to get started by actually cutting these into the usable sections of the lamb. The first one we're going to do is the neck, which we're going to use more for like a roast. We're going to do this in such a way that we can use the vast majority of everything. There won't be very much waste in it. All right, so now we're going to separate the shoulder from the rest of the lamb. What you want to do is find the 5th and 6th rib, and you got to cut down from there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the ribs and separate the ribs from the rest. A lamb can have either 8 or 9 ribs. This one has 8 ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go ahead and cut the 8 ribs off on both sides and separate that out. All right, now we're going to find the sirloin, and that's kind of where you would sit if it were a horse. So we're going to go ahead and find out where it hits, basically I don't know if it's the hip bone or what bone this is, but basically right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut the shoulders in half, which is just, we're going to cut straight down the spine, right up the middle. Got just a little off center, but that should work. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn these into boneless shoulder roasts. So we're going to go ahead and cut off the shank, which is right here at the the joint there. There's a butchered shank, a little bit. All right, now we're going to get started on the ribs, and the first thing we're going to do is cut on either side of the spine to separate the ribs from the spine. this to the dogs?
Yeah.
Where's your?
Right in here.
Actually, you shouldn't touch it. I shouldn't touch it. Okay, now I'm just scoring where we're gonna cut our ribs to go to, I guess, separate the ribs from the rib tips. And then we're gonna cut them, being careful with the bone saw. If you have a bandsaw, that'd probably be better to do it on that. Oh boy. This lamb, we didn't get as much belly meat as some other ones, so we're going to go ahead and cut these up for rib tips rather than doing any bacon or anything like that out of it. We're just wanting to be careful to get each one the same size so that they all cook at the same rate. So to do this, we're going to want to cut so they're all about the same size. And then we'll use this meat for stir fry or something along those lines. There's a little bone right here. Get it out. Okay, so now I'm going to take the leg, one of the legs, and I'm going to cut the shank off, which is this bottom half. So I'm going to just start cutting at the joint. And you can use the gravity to kind of help with the weight of this side. Maybe. Cut the tendon off. Okay, so here's the finished product of all the meat. We have our ribs, our rib tips. This is going to be used for either stir fry or kebabs or something like that. And then we have the legs, which we can grill up or something. I don't know what I'll do with that. And then we actually have 6 roasts. We like to do a lot of roasts that can be thrown in the crock pot and roast away all day. And then we can eat it in the evening or roast it overnight and eat it for lunch. So you have your neck, and then your loin, your legs, and the front shoulders. Sorry. So that's what we got.
Okay, for some reason our audio didn't work for this clip of me butchering my lamb, and we had just recently bought new microphones, and I guess I didn't turn mine on. I'm not sure. But this is the second lamb, and I am just parting it out. This neck was the worst to cut, and I honestly almost gave up. And then now moving on to the rest of the body. That clip was actually hours later. It took me so long to do my sheep. It was like at least 4 hours. And I don't ever want to butcher a sheep again. But now we are just bagging up all the meat, and then in the freezer it's gonna go.